Hello everyone, so in this video we're going to be looking at the levels of organization in the human body as well as the various organ systems that are present in the human body. So let's begin. So the levels of organization in the human body in order of simplest to most complex are the chemical level, the cellular level, the tissue level, the organ level, the organ system level, as well as the organismal level. So in total, there are 6 levels of organization in the human body, and I'll go ahead and explain more about each of these levels. So the chemical level consists of atoms and molecules. It also gives rise to a sub-level known as organelles. These organelles are found in cells. For example, you have the Golgi apparatus and the endoplasmic reticulum. Next is the cellular level, and this consists of cells which are the basic units of life. Examples of such cells are blood cells, bone cells, muscle cells, fat cells, nerve cells, stem cells, and so much more, as you can see in this image right here. After the cellular level is the tissue level. And basically, a tissue is a collection of similar cells that perform the same functions. There are 4 major types of tissue, which are the epithelial tissue, the connective tissue, the muscle tissue, as well as the nervous tissue. So I'm going to explain a little bit about each of these types of tissues. And with the epithelial tissue, it is a tissue that covers the exposed body surfaces and lines body cavities, whereas the connective tissue protects, supports, and binds body structures such as the cells and organs. Then you have the muscle tissue, and the muscle tissue allows for movement, and there are 3 types of muscles. We have the smooth muscle, the cardiac muscle, as well as the skeletal muscle, which is also called the voluntary muscle because you have voluntary control of this type of muscle as opposed to the other types we talked about, which are the smooth and the cardiac muscle. Those are not voluntary. And then you have the nervous tissue, last but not the least. And the nervous tissue conducts nerve impulses for communication between different body regions. Moving on from the tissue level, next we have the organ level. And this consists of organs such as the stomach, the kidney, the intestines, the heart, etc. And note that an organ is made up of various kinds of tissues. So next is the organ system level, and simply put, this level refers to the collection of various organs in the body functioning together. For example, you have the digestive system, as you can see right here, and the digestive system is made up of the small and large intestine, the stomach, the pancreas, the liver, etc. And each of these organs are going to work together to allow for digestion of food. Lastly is the organismal level, and at this stage you're looking at the whole person, or you can call it an organism, which is made up of various organ systems that work together and thus ensuring the proper functioning of the human body. And now that we've looked at the levels of organization in the human body, let's look at the various organ systems that make up an organism. Also, feel free to take a screenshot of this slide if you think it might be helpful to you. It has a good summary of the functions of each of the organ system all in one place. So basically, it's an image of the various organ systems and their functions. So the organ systems of the human body are the integumentary system, the skeletal system, the muscular system, the nervous system, the endocrine system, the cardiovascular system, the lymphatic system, the respiratory system, the urinary system, the digestive system, as well as the male and female reproductive system. Now let's look at each of these systems in a bit more detail. Starting off with the integumentary system, the hair, nails, skin, as well as its associated glands, such as sweat glands, are examples of the body parts that are classified under this system. So one of the functions of the integumentary system is the fact that it provides protection for the body. For example, you have the skin, which acts as a barrier against some types of germs, and when the skin is damaged, the body is not as protected, making it more prone to infections. The integumentary system also functions in the regulation of body temperature. For example, when you sweat through the sweat glands found on the skin, it allows you to cool off. Another function of the integumentary system are the sensory receptors located on the skin that allows for sensory input. For example, the feeling of pain when you get injured. Also, the integumentary system allows for the synthesis of vitamin D, which occurs when the skin absorbs light rays from the sun. In addition, the integumentary system helps to prevent water loss. I haven't talked about the integumentary system. Let's talk about the skeletal system now. So the skeletal system includes the various bones that make up the skeleton. Examples of such bones include the skull, ribs, vertebrae, which are the bones that form the spine, etc. And the functions of the skeletal system include 1. The protection of body organs. For example, the ribs protect the organs within the rib cage, such as the heart and the lungs. 2. It provides support for the body. 3. Calcium and phosphorus are stored in the bones. 4. Hemopoiesis also occurs in the bones, specifically in the red bone marrow of the bones. And hemopoiesis is basically the production of blood cells. Also, the skeletal system provides a place for ligaments, tendons, and muscles to attach. And lastly, the skeletal system, along with the muscular system, are responsible for movement of the body. Moving on, we're going to look at the muscular system next, and as I'm sure you've guessed, the muscular system includes the various muscles of the body. Examples of such muscles are the cardiac muscle, which is the muscle that makes up the heart. There are also skeletal muscles, which are the muscles in the body that allow for movements such as the biceps and the triceps of the arm, etc. The functions of the muscular system include the production of movements. As I mentioned earlier, it works together with the skeletal system to allow the body to move voluntarily. Aside from moving body parts such as the arms and legs, we have smooth muscles in the internal organs that allow for movement. For example, in the intestines, the movement produced by such smooth muscles aid in the digestion of food. However, this type of movements cannot be controlled voluntarily. The muscular system also helps to generate heat when the muscles contract, and in addition, we are able to maintain our body posture with the help of the muscles. Next, we have the nervous system, and this consists of the brain, spinal cord, nerves, as well as sense organs such as the eye, nose, etc. It is a regulatory system, and its functions include receiving and processing sensory stimuli, as well as activating bodily response to such stimuli. It also helps to control all other organ system. For example, it controls the muscles of the muscular system and glands of the integumentary system. In addition, it is responsible for consciousness, memory, and intelligence thanks to the brain. Another organ system we have is called the endocrine system. This consists of glands and clusters of cells that secrete hormones. Examples include the hypothalamus, pituitary gland, pineal gland, thymus, pancreas, kidneys, etc. Its functions include production and secretion of hormones, some of which regulate development, growth, and metabolism. It also maintains homeostasis of blood composition and volume, which means it ensures that the blood composition and volume stays around the desired set point. And it also controls the process of digestion as well as reproductive functions. Moving on to the cardiovascular system, this system consists of the heart, blood, and blood vessels. And how this works is that the heart acts as a pump, moving blood through the blood vessels so that it can distribute nutrients, hormones, and gases such as oxygen that are carried in the blood throughout the body. In addition, waste products such as carbon dioxide are picked up from the body during the process. Another thing the cardiovascular system does is that it helps to equalize body temperature. Another organ system in the human body is the lymphatic system. This system is made up of lymph vessels, lymph nodes, tonsils, spleen, thymus, appendix, etc. And yes, an organ can function in multiple organ systems, like the thymus, which is part of both the endocrine system and the lymphatic system, or the kidneys, which are also part of the endocrine system, as well as the urinary system that you'll see soon. So the lymphatic system functions in transporting and filtering lymph, which is the interstitial fluid surrounding cells that are collected and carried in the lymph vessels. The system also maintains fluid balance by returning fluid back to the blood. In addition, it participates in immune responses by defending against pathogens. Now going to move on to the respiratory system, and this system includes the lungs, nose, nasal cavity, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, pharynx, which is the throat, and larynx, which is the voice box. So this system is responsible for the exchange of gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide between the blood and the air in the lungs. So basically it functions in removing carbon dioxide from the body and delivering oxygen to the blood. Next up is the urinary system, and this consists of the kidneys, urinary bladder, ureter, and urethra. So this system functions in filtering the blood to remove waste products and biologically active molecules. It will then gather or store those waste products in the bladder in the form of urine. When the bladder becomes full, the urine will then be expelled from the body. And another function of the urinary system is to control the fluid balance in the body. Now we'll look at the digestive system, which includes the salivary glands, liver, stomach, etc. So it functions in the mechanical and chemical digestion of food, and mechanical digestion simply refers to the physical breakdown of food through the process of chewing, whereas chemical digestion, on the other hand, occurs when food is broken down with the aid of saliva, stomach acids, enzymes, and other secretions. The digestive system also functions in the absorption of nutrients. It removes waste products from undigested foods and expels the waste products. And note that the waste is solid waste, unlike urine, which is expelled by the urinary system. Lastly, we have the male and female reproductive system. So the male reproductive system includes the urethra, prostate gland, epididymis, etc. And its functions include production of male sex cells or gametes, which is a sperm, and production of male hormones such as testosterone. The female reproductive system, on the other hand, includes the ovaries, uterus, mammary glands, etc. And its functions, as I'm sure you've guessed, include the production of female sex cells or gametes, which are called oocytes. It also produces a female hormones such as estrogen and progesterone. It is a site of fertilization of the oocytes, as well as growth and development of the embryo into a fetus. Also, it produces breast milk for the nourishment of the newborn. So that's it for this video. Hopefully it helped you some, and if it did, please let me know in the comments below. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments as well. And please don't forget to like and subscribe for more school and study related content like this one. Also share the video with your classmates if you'd like to help them out. Thanks for watching and good luck with your studies.